to die for this land.
Welcome to the Patriot Punkcast. I am your host, Chase Matheson, and tonight should be quite a lot of fun if we can ever get through the technical issues. Daniel has had to reboot every electronic device in his house, so hopefully we run smooth. I know that we are going to have quite a few new viewers from Overton County in light of their recent property tax increase. So if you're from Overton County, welcome. We're going to try to do the best job that we can summarizing what happened to you guys. And we're going to go through all of our normal routine stuff so that you guys know how to actually get to that part of the show. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff tonight. The Overton County property tax increase. Rapes are on the rise in Tennessee. And if that word didn't just get me kicked off of Facebook, our discussion almost certainly will. So remember that just about one segment in, we're going to hop on over to Rumble or X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, because the conversations there are a lot less censored. Now, we're also going to talk about which cities in the United States are home to the most HIV cases, and the most people living with HIV, kind of look at the problems, the cause and effect of that. We're also going to discuss a few other things, but we don't want to take the whole beginning of the show up. So let's go ahead and introduce the co-host, see what his technical issues are looking like. How are you doing tonight, Mr. Daniel Wagner?
See, all right, I'm done now. All right. How's that? That's any better at all?
Not at all. You look like a potato.
I am a potato, but that's not what I'm asking. So, yeah. I had good and then it just went away. So I don't know what's going on. I will attempt to bring up the other stuff for you. So bear with me. I'll give you a thumbs up in the private chat if I end up getting any better situation.
I got you. Well, you sound better than you did earlier, so maybe there is some improvement.
That's good.
Yeah. So that we do not have a normal guest tonight, and it's a little bit by design. Right now it's the summertime, so the guests that are available, we don't want to repeat certain topics too often for you guys. We don't want to beat a dead horse, as some people might call it. So we decided to take a little bit of a different approach tonight. We are going to be reading a lot more comments now. We cannot guarantee that we can read your comment if you're on Rumble, because sometimes we get a lot of them. We're going to try to read as many of them as we can, especially the ones surrounding Overton County. But if you super chat us, we will 100% read it, provided that it's not a threat of violence. So that is the best way to get your opinions heard. Remember, we are a small-time, self-funded publication. We don't have big donors. As you can tell, there's not any major sponsors or anything like that on this show, so we rely on your support. And the best way that you can help us out is by simply hitting the like button, sharing the stream, and texting the link to your friends and tell them to watch. If you find a particular part entertaining, tell them to watch starting at that minute mark. Help people find us, because we don't have a marketing budget, and we can't spend the same amount of money that the Department of Corrections spends on hiring new people. We're going to get into that too. Before we get started, if you want to support us a little bit more, you can also go to our website and look up some of the other videos and some of the other things that we've done. If you are from Overton County, we've covered a few stories from there in the past, but we've also got stories out of Putnam County and out of Mount Juliet, Murfreesboro, Benton County. We've covered stories from almost every part of the state at some point. And you'll start to see a pattern emerge. We've got some satirical stuff, some undercover audio. And if you are trying to expose corruption, one of the best ways that you can do it is by turning your phone on voice recorder and going and chatting up some of your politicians. Get them to brag about whatever it is that they're doing, and then reach out to me. Sources can remain anonymous. Have to be able to validate what you provide us, but we are always looking for new people. As you can tell, I don't go undercover well. So while you're there, you can also sign up for our newsletter. You can also click on the support tab, become a monthly member. We are working on some end of summer, maybe event for members only, monthly members. So sign up for as little as $3 a month. Right now, we don't send out a whole lot of extra stuff yet, but we are launching a few things, like I said, in the next probably 90 days that will be regular and hopefully provide a little bit more value. for the people that want to support us. And then I am the local authorized Kirby distributor. So if you are looking for a new cleaner, I want you to watch this little ad that I put together and buy local, support and buy American made. Go. When was the last time you cleaned your carpets? I want you to imagine that we took a brand new white towel, placed it over the carpet in the entrance to your bedroom or on that area rug in front of the couch. With the amount of traffic that your home gets, how long would it be before that towel was so dirty that you had to wash it? Now, I want you to think, what's the difference between that towel and the carpet or the rug beneath it? Not much, but it's much harder to throw the carpet in the washing machine. But with a Kirby home care system, you don't have to. Having been made in America for 110 years, the Kirby Company has figured out exactly what it takes to clean your home. Utilizing a dry foam shampoo that doesn't soak your carpets, you can shampoo whenever you need to. There's no need to move the furniture, and there's no need to wait for a sunny day where you can open the windows and let everything dry. All you have to do is lay the suds, wait a few minutes, and then fluff them dry. It also cleans hardwood, tile, linoleum, and more. If you're in Tennessee and would like to take a look at one, we believe you deserve the chance to see the machine work in your home before you make your purchase. Schedule your appointment today by visiting our website at midtnkirby.com. That's midtnkirby.com. All right, guys, that is my business. So please, help support the show. And without any further ado, smash that like button, share the show with your friends, and let's get into it. One of the biggest things, this is going to be a little bit different than normal shows, especially since Daniel is having technical difficulties too. But the first story that I really want to talk about is I want to ask who watched the Titans preseason game against the Seattle Seahawks. I know a lot of I don't normally talk sports, but I promise I'm going somewhere with it. It was a pretty good game, especially for preseason. We've got some decent players. But there were two things that stood out to me. One is the DEI hires and this trying to appeal to a new audience over the last few seasons has made the sport so much more difficult to watch. Daniel, one of the things that you can bring up first is on my X feed, there is a reply to the Tennessee Titans and that link, or you go to the Tennessee Titans page and you should find it. But the DEI stuff, take that off the screen for just a second. The DEI hire stuff is making it to where they will put up these announcers reading a script and then on half the screen, and on the other half of the screen they try to show you the football game. And I know everybody who watches any sports has noticed this, and it's gotten worse as sports have become more commercialized. And it's what it is. What I think it is that you have these people who are college educated, they know how to do all this cool stuff, and they don't understand what is the actual purpose of the sporting event. If you get that brought up, Daniel, feel free to just throw it up. It's a reply to the Tennessee Titans on my Twitter thing, because I want to watch that little excerpt and show everybody exactly what I'm talking about. And for those of you on Facebook and YouTube, remember we are going to be cutting this feed here in about, or as soon as we get done talking about the Titans. So all the juicy and spicy content is going to be over on Rumble. If you want to be able to comment on Rumble, make sure that you sign up for an account. It's free. Is that, wait a minute. It's the Tennessee Titans. Yeah, I've been having some Facebook arguments today. So, but yeah, if you have an X account on Twitter, you can also go over there and we'll be able to look at your comments there. Please give us a retweet if you're watching on X. It's a pretty tough platform to get any exposure on. And let's see. I feel like there should be some really cheesy music playing, especially since Daniel's thing is so slow.
See, I can't find it. Talking a lot.
Yeah.
Talk a lot.
Well, it's
Right.
yeah, there you go. Okay, so I don't know how if your internet's going to be fast enough to play that, but even if it glitches, we'll be able to get to the major point of it. So
Titans bring 4. Walker steps up into a pocket, and down he goes. Titans defensive line.
Send me that
stepping
link
up
in
there,
private
and they
chat,
had to
man,
have
and
it on
I'll
3rd and
bring it
pass.
up because that's terrible.
And that's one of the.
Yep, it's playing smooth on my end, but apparently not on yours. So, get it to you.
Yeah, no, guys. So sorry about that. That's one of the other reasons you should support our show, so that Daniel can actually have gas money to come in studio, so that if we have technical issues, it's on everybody's end, not just on one of the ends. But let's see. So you kind of got a feel for it right there. And please bear with us, guys, while we're dealing with all the technical issues. And if anyone wants to volunteer to be our producers, you are more than welcome to join us. So let's see. Oh, there we go. All right.
There you go.
So we're going to.
Yep, this is an issue that just suddenly popped up. And
yeah,
I don't know.
And I am. Hey there, Overton County Watchdog. Good evening. Thank you for joining the chat. So here we go. Let's see. Share tab. We're going to share window. Go with.
If it turn that up, I'm not watching the game. Football. I do what you're talking about.
Let's see. All right. I'm going to have to. Can you dial it in real quick? Oh, is it on? All right. There we go.
So you don't have audio on your end?
That's so the audio doesn't matter, but I want you guys to notice, okay, during the play, okay, and NFL hates it when you comment on their stuff, but this is fair use. So whenever you notice during the play, and I'm just going to drag it forward, the whole play, they are sharing half the screen with people that we do not give a shit about. Pardon my language. We don't give a care what the announcers look like. They are announcers. They are meant to be heard, not seen. And you notice as soon as the play ends, then it goes full screen. Okay. Well, that right there. Oh, here we go. That right there just goes to show you exactly why DEI hiring or DEI practices are so terrible for a business, because you have these people who they know how to do all the fancy stuff. They can do cut-ins. They know how to design the nice layout so it looks good on screen. But what they don't understand is that the person watching the football game wants to see the football game. They do this in soccer. A dual citizen. That's why there's the phone booth behind me. But with that issue, what is going on here? Okay. Sorry about that, guys. But they do it in soccer. They'll put the score at the bottom and all these advertisements and stuff down at the bottom, and then the ball will get passed to the left or the right wing, and there's ads. You can't even see what's going on. And that is one of the reasons why we try to get all of our business out of the way at the beginning. But there was something else that stood out to me during this football game. Okay. And that was that in the middle of the football game, it might have even been halftime, the Tennessee Department of Corrections ran a now hiring ad. Now, I don't know if Daniel's able to find that or if it's even on YouTube or anything like that. But for those of you who don't know, we have several state prisons in Tennessee. And anywhere where the prisoner is not, there's not enough room for all of the state prisoners for all the crime that they've committed. So what they do, and Putnam County is one of them for the people in Overton, they will get paid by the state to house these inmates. And right now, Overton County, you have Charles Chuck Carter Jr. in your jail, according to the Tennessee Department of Corrections website. A quick Google search of Charles Chuck Carter Jr. will show that he is a Wait a minute. Oh, that's Daniel. Okay. It will show that he is a convicted sex offender who pled guilty to the rape, murder, and disposal of the body of Olivia Taylor, a 15-year-old girl. Now, what's really unfortunate is that Charles Chuck Carter Jr. was also a confidential informant for the Putnam County Sheriff's Office for quite a long time. So I say all that to bring up this commercial. It got me thinking, how right now the biggest barrier to hiring Department of Corrections staff is almost certainly pay. In the chat, who out there thinks that they would like to be a corrections officer? Does anybody out there? I mean, it takes a very, very select, rare breed of person who wants to become a corrections officer. And I understand that in order to get prisoners like Charles Chuck Carter out of your county, they are going to have to put him in a state-run facility, which is where he should be. The problem is they don't have enough people, much like the jail in Putnam County. They do not have enough people to staff that corrections facility. So what do they have to do? They have to hire a bunch of people. Now, I want to talk, and I was really looking forward to having Daniel on this conversation for this part of it. So you guys are going to have to help me out in the chat quite a lot. But when you think about, anyone who can, you can Google. Daniel might be able to bring up that screenshot because there's no video to it. The price of a primetime NFL commercial, according to Google. Now it ranges, and if it's primetime Super Bowl, it's probably a little bit more. This was preseason, so we can argue that it's a little less. But one 30-second ad on the NFL during a Sunday game is probably going to run you, if it's not primetime, about $500,000. Primetime, it says 882. So I think 500,000 is fairly generous. If you took that money and advertised it locally, first off, who watches the commercials anymore anyway, really? I mean, that's why the only things you see are Pfizer or, the latest depression medicine or maybe a political ad. So I want to know what are some better ways that money could have been spent? They've got to hire like 600 people was the last job fair that I saw. And I don't want to be overly critical. If they have a lot of people to hire, that's great. I just feel like $500,000 could buy you so much more if it was utilized in a better way. Not to mention, they are the State Department of Corrections. They have more connections than a box of Legos. Okay, they could call up every single sheriff. They could call up Eddie Ferris. They could call up everybody and say, hey, we're looking for some new people. How many state-run colleges are in Tennessee with a criminal justice program? You're paying them I think it's $45,000 a year and a $5,000 sign-on bonus right now. That's great money. Ask the citizens of Overton County. They just had to pay for raises for their police officers because it's not enough money. We've got a Maria JC commented, last I heard, each housing agency will get $120 per day per state inmate. Okay. Yeah. So Overton County is getting probably $120 per day per state inmate, and it's a monopoly business and can make agencies really rich. Well, not the agency, but the administration's pockets. Yeah, so this is a business, and they obviously have to manage, just like teaching. They have a classroom. They have to manage their classroom of criminals. So there's going to be a per capita. You want a low teacher to pupil ratio in schools. You want a low inmate to corrections officer ratio. That just makes sense. But when it comes to $500,000. You could have spent that money in-house. We are a red state. Does anyone out there think that the NFL has the interest of Tennesseans at heart? And what did the ad say? The ad said basically that they were hiring. It was a pretty professionally shot ad. Because I watched it on YouTube TV, you can't screen record. It just blacks it out. And I haven't been able to find it. Oh, does it look like we have a Daniel, maybe?
All right, quick test. How's the sound and look? Any different?
Yes, okay. Perfect. Oh, well, you're still
any better?
No. Damn.
I have a few visuals. I can the conversation. Right.
Turn off your visuals.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. So what do you think? Do you think that $500,000, and I'll open record request and find out exactly how much they spent, but do you guys think that $500,000 on a now hiring ad could have been better utilized? How much does your local newspaper, where are, what does a radio advertisement cost? Ooh, echo. Yep. So looks like Daniel is going to have some issues joining us. Oh, hold on. What about now?
Okay. How's that? Is that better?
That is way better. Thank God. I've been up here just ranting to people.
I know. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good. So give everyone, please give Daniel a round of applause.
Thanks.
And yeah. And so what do you think? Do you I know you don't watch football, but they spent $500,000 ballpark of your money, taxpayer money.
Oh, if I wanted people to spend my money, I definitely would choose sports. That's for sure.
Well, it's not sports. That they're hiring for jail staff.
Yeah,
that it was the Department of Corrections hiring for corrections officers.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard that a lot of the issue why they can't keep people is because they just don't pay enough for the crap they have to deal with. They just don't pay enough for those positions.
That's a lot of it. I mean, $45,000 is not a lot of money, but the benefits are pretty good from what I understand. Good insurance, and they give structured raises. And if it's like any other government job, once you're in, you're pretty much set once you can get tenured. I'm not 100% sure if the Department of Corrections is like that. Maybe, let's see, they could have been given the, yeah, you're right, Maria. They could have given the pay rate as a boost to get people who wanted to apply. I think they're already doing that too. But my thought is you've got $500,000, and there may have been more than one commercial. I'm just remembering the one that I saw. If they had 2 or 3 commercials in there, then that becomes a lot bigger.
Right.
But that's just one football game. They are also advertising on all these mainstream radio stations. And the more I look and, the more we're in this business, the more that I realize the average small business cannot advertise anywhere. They can't afford to. A radio ad on a decent station is like $5,000 or like for one on a Sunday at 3 a.m. If you want prime time, do you remember? I know you looked at running one. Do you remember what it cost?
I don't. I know it was way more than. I know the number was like painful to hear. I know that much.
Yeah, and what people don't understand is that the people that sell these ads most of the time, and it varies based on publication, but there's normally a very stiff, like 50% profit margin in the ad sales department. That may have changed a little bit if there's base pay and insurance provided to people, but it's still going to be a tremendous amount of these ad sales are to pay someone to go sell the ads. I know that's how Bernie's wife made a whole lot of money too. So, I want to get to the more pressing topics, and I understand that a lot of the Overton County people probably don't spend a whole lot of time on Rumble naturally, so we appreciate you guys making the trip to join us over there. We're about to get into the rise of actual assaults, we're going to call it. I think I cut out the S there. So if you are watching, I'm going to go ahead and edit those. If you guys are watching on YouTube and Facebook, those platforms are full of bollocks, and we don't like bollocks. So